I'm Ramona Menifee. I was in class 5 at the old house on Lufkin Avenue. The reason I came to the Mosaic Center is a friend of mine, Shauna Cranford, went to the Mosaic Center before me, and she told me you should go. They said it's computer training, but that's not really true. There is computer training, but that's not the goal, and I did not know that that wasn't the goal. I didn't want a failed marriage. I'd already married my oldest son's father right out of high school. That didn't work. And then I married my second husband, and that didn't work. And I was with 3 kids and no education, nowhere to go, just kind of there working dead-end jobs at restaurants. All that baggage, those kids, dead-end jobs, and wanting that computer training, and got so much more. They were just great people. They cared, it showed. They brought this lady, her name was Connie Estes, and she has art hanging in the museums here. And I thought she was just the smartest, most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. I just admired her so much. Everything about Miss Estes was just awesome. And I just wanted to be like her. I didn't tell her that, but I was like, wow, look at her. The way she dressed, her hair was perfect, and her attitude and her spirit was just so sweet. And one thing I did realize at Mosaic Center is how much I love my kids. How it wasn't about going out and drinking. It's about them and being home with them and teaching them the right way. If you don't make yourself better, your kids aren't going to be any better. They just aren't. My kids are so important to me. They just mean the world to me. And I changed how I did stuff. When I would go home from Mosaic Center, actually I go to work after that, but when I did get home, I loved on my boys, I hugged my boys, I read them the Bible. I actually did that. My kids are good kids. My oldest son, Anthony, got a scholarship to U of H, an academic scholarship. He lettered in academics before he lettered in football. Yeah, I was so happy and proud. He's an amazing young man. He went to U of H, and he got a degree in African American Studies. I started working at Bonner Elementary in Hudson, but I'm actually a district employee, which is so cool to me. I can go from Bonner Elementary to PV to the middle school, wherever they need me, and I like to go. I get to work with the kids. I work with special ed children. I work with the able unit children. That's the more difficult children. And I love it. I wanted to be a teacher, but I like the freedom of not being in the classroom, of being able to go when they call and say, hey, this kid needs you, and to be there for that. I love that, and I've had it happen many, many times. I've only been at Bonner 1 year, and they've got me zooming everywhere. And I love it. I thank Shauna for telling me about Mosaic Center. She's still one of my best friends to this day. Mosaic Center made me stop being selfish. I was very selfish. It was all about me. It wasn't about my kids. It wasn't about anybody else's kids. It was all about me. Once I left there, I knew it was more to it. And it's so much more. It's rewarding. It's amazing. I love children. I have a passion for them, and I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it. And now my 18-year-old and my 21-year-old every day hug me. Every single day. And it's that hug, that just means something to me. I know I'm loved. It's just, that's what Mosaic Center did. It made me see there's so much more besides you. I'm a part of it, but there's kids out there that need us, and that's what I'm going to do with my life.
My name is Kristen Johnson, and in 2017 I was a Mosaic Center student, and I graduated and became class of 25. My journey began when I started looking online for a resume building site. I took an interview here, and y'all warmly welcomed me in. And as I began, the class, there was so much more that was offered here than what I could ever imagine. I had started my first day of Mosaic school when my children, who had been homeschooled for 13 years, started their first day of public school. When I got here to the Mosaic Center, I was listening to the other ladies' stories, and I realized that I had my own story, some tragedies and some, total blessings. But we went on to do all kinds of things. I mean, we went and exercised, and they made sure that we had, proper meals, and we everything that we needed here was taken care of. Everything. We didn't have to worry about anything. Not a pencil, not a Bible, not a piece of paper. We did all kinds of crafts here. It was just very, very inviting. There's something baked into the walls here that's just so inviting, and you can feel God here. Absolutely. Each week we had a new Bible teacher that was introduced, and they provided a fresh face and a new perspective. And it was here where my heart began to surface tragedies that I had deeply tucked away. I scarcely even realized that they were there. And then I just realized that I no longer had a heaviness or a void. I professed to be going through the motions of a Christian, but I had really built a wall around my heart and around my family. The awesome thing is I not only got a chance to see myself coming out of my shell, but I also got an eyewitness account to see my fellow classmates. Their hearts were changing too as we opened up and we shared stories with each other. I just realized that I had something to offer, something special to offer. I realized that I could make a difference, that I had a purpose, that my path was unfolding. And as the teachers shared their personal stories, I was challenged to step out of my comfort zone and to dream. About 2 years ago, I began a journey with Lockheed Martin. I am a documentation assistant senior with them. And I remember the interview day. I walked in to this huge room with this big king's table, and it was full. There were 12 seats, and it was full of interviewers. And I can just remember the things that our teachers told us in Jobs for Life, how we were supposed to, go in there with confidence, look them right in the eye, and just, tell them who that we are. Show them that we had value and worth, and that we would make a great impact to their company. And so I sat down with that in mind, and I went through the motions with the interviewers, and I gave them everything that I had. And in the back of my mind, I can just hear my teachers schooling me as I'm sitting in that interview, scared to death. And I got the job. I just want to say that, only through my Lord does my future lie ahead. And I'm reminded to keep dreaming and to keep reaching, and just to keep remembering that what God has planned for the people who love Him is more than eye has seen or ear has heard. It's never even entered my mind. The Mosaic Center is a wellspring of life for the thirsty. My goal is to give back to the Mosaic Center, to volunteer my time to help make a difference in the lives of the women of the Mosaic. We are all an essential piece of God's greatest design through His master plan. And I just want to thank the Mosaic Center for everything that they've done for me in my life.